I never thought I'd fall for my boss, Part 1. I never thought I'd be the person sneaking glances across the office at my boss, of all people. Honestly, it sounds like the setup to a bad rom-com, or worse, the kind of workplace scandal you read about in HR emails. But here I am, sitting at my desk, typing this out with my heart pounding, because if I don't get this story off my chest, I might explode. I'm 28, working at a mid-sized marketing firm. My official title is Account Coordinator, which really means I spend my days juggling clients, proofreading endless slide decks, and making sure campaigns don't collapse because someone forgot to update a budget. It's a decent job, open office floor plan, constant buzz of printers, and the faint smell of burnt coffee that never seems to leave the break room. Nothing glamorous, but stable. My boss, Daniel, he is 35. He's technically my manager but not the CEO level kind of boss, just the one who approves my projects and occasionally bails me out when a client goes nuclear. When I first joined, I didn't think much of him. Tall, a little too serious, usually in button-downs rolled up at the sleeves. Not exactly the type of guy that I go for. But then, little things started. The first spark I can remember was one of those late nights before a client pitch. It was just the two of us left in the office, the glow of our screens the only light since facilities had already killed the overheads. I was stress editing a presentation when I muttered something under my breath about death by PowerPoint. He laughed, not a polite chuckle, but a real, unguarded laugh. Then he leaned against my desk and said,
"If we survive this pitch, drinks are on me."
That moment stuck. The way his voice dropped when he said it, half joking but not entirely. I brushed it off at the time, but after that, I started noticing him more. The way he loosened his tie right after long calls. The way he'd bring me an extra coffee without asking, saying,
"You look like you're running on fumes."
Also, the way he remembered details, like how I prefer my coffee with too much cream, or how I keep twirling my pen when I'm nervous. No one else at work notices stuff like that. But here's the thing, our company has a very strict no dating policy. HR has drilled it into us during every training. And Daniel? He's technically my superior. If anything ever crossed the line, it wouldn't just be gossip, it could cost us both our jobs. So I tried to ignore it. But ignoring it only made it worse. The inside jokes during meetings, the brush of his hand when he passed me papers, the way our eyes would meet a second too long in the hallway. It was like being pulled toward a flame that I knew could burn me. Then, a few weeks ago, something happened that shifted everything. We were at a client dinner, one of those painfully formal networking things where you smile until your cheeks ache. Daniel and I ended up sitting next to each other, squeezed in at the far end of the table. At some point, his knee brushed mine under the table, and neither of us moved away. My heart was hammering in my chest, but I didn't pull back either. Later, when the group went out for one more drink, I made my excuse to leave. As I was waiting for my Uber, Daniel slipped outside. He stood there for a second, then said quietly,
"This is getting complicated, isn't it?"
I didn't know what to say. My Uber pulled up, saving me from answering. But the look in his eyes, it wasn't just me imagining this. And now, I can't stop replaying that moment. He knows. I know. And the silence since then has been unbearable. Do I risk everything by leaning into this? Or do I pretend nothing ever happened and hope the tension doesn't eat me alive? Thank you for watching. If you like this story, feel free to hit the like button and follow for more fresh topics every day.